We're live in five, four, three, two, one. That was quick because we're here. We've just come from a live premiere video about DistroKid, and in this video, we're going to be talking more DistroKid. I'm going to answer some of the most common questions I get about releasing your music online. If you've never released before, you'll learn something that you need to know, or everything, hopefully, you need to know to release. If you are already a DistroKid member, or you're using another platform to release music, hopefully you'll learn a few additional things as well. And I will be answering any questions that folks have here live. If you've always had a question about releasing music and you want to find out how to do it, just put the word question in front of your comment, and I will make sure that I circle back and try and answer as many of those as I can in the next around about 30 minutes that we'll be here live. If you are live on YouTube or Facebook, hello, say g'day, and like I say, let me know if you have any questions as we go through. But my first question for you, and I'd like to get this from the folks here live, and if you're watching on the replay, drop a comment for me down below. Have you released a song to Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, all the places? Have you ever released one of your recordings? I would love to know. And if you have released, who did you use? If it wasn't DistroKid, that's cool. Yeah, let me know. Have you released something before? Are you already releasing music? And who did you use? We'd just love to get a bit of a straw poll on that to see where people are at, because I've been using DistroKid to share my music for over 4 years now. They are a sponsor of the channel, and they have sponsored previous videos, and in the month of November they'll be sponsoring another 4 videos. The one that we just premiered about the Teams feature, where I showed how I shared and split royalties with Jade Star, so you can check that video out. That's linked down in the description, and will also be at the end of this one. And then I've got 3 more videos, and maybe if you're really good, by the end of this one I'll give you a hint at what the other 3 videos coming up are. And of course, if you have other ideas or other things you want to know, let me know. There's also a link down in the description to a bunch of videos, a whole playlist of videos all about DistroKid and how to release using DistroKid. So let's jump in here now, and I'm going to go over to my DistroKid account. So if we share this one on the screen, this is what it looks like. So this is my DistroKid account, and this is all of the songs that I've released. Everything from my Songtember song at the top there called New Beginning, and you can see all the places that that's been released to. Amazon and Apple's in there, and Spotify's in there. TikTok, even for you TikTokers that want to use my songs, you can do that. And then we've got all of the other tracks as well. My EP called Own Battle, my EP called Maybe, and then Hold On, No Apologies. Imagine we go all the way back to 2017 when I first started releasing music with this one, the very first EP that I released all the way back then. You might be wondering, why are there different numbers of platforms on each of these? Well, at different times, DistroKid are adding and removing different platforms, so you will find that some songs are released to different places and less places than other songs. But here's the cool thing. Here's tip number 1. Let's just jump in and show you this straight away. If I go into one of these songs, in fact, we'll go to an older one that doesn't have so this old song, Wasting Time, doesn't have a whole lot of places it's been released to yet. But if we click on this one and we jump into it, what we should be able to do, this was released back in 2019, we can actually edit the release. We'll talk about editing a release and why you should or shouldn't do that later. But you can see here we can add a whole bunch of things. I'm really slack, so I haven't added my lyrics. I've got my credits in there. I can download it and I can do some other things there. We've got a Teams option, which we just talked about, that we can add there. But check this one out. Under stores, I can actually add to more stores. So if you are a DistroKid user, here's tip number 1. If you are a DistroKid user and you want to make sure your album, your EP, your song is in as many stores as possible, and why the heck not? It might as well be everywhere, yeah? Then you can come in here to add to more stores and see this. I've actually got this one here. NetEase is a free one. Let's stick it out there. We've got TikTok or Resso, which is free. We can stick it in there. And we've got Soundtrack by Twitch, which is a new one I didn't even know about, so we can put it there. I could Shazam it. I could choose to put it into Shazam, but that one will cost you 99 cents per year if you want your song to be Shazamable. But you can see here we've got all of these other stores that's already released to, and you can actually see, you can use these links to actually see your song on all of these stores. So that's another cool feature you have in here. So if I want to come in, I've never really checked out my song on Amazon, so let's just open this in a new tab. We'll add these over here for now, but let's go over Whoops, I'm clicking on the wrong screen. We'll add those. There you go. That's added those in there. But check this out. I can come over here and there's Amazon and there's my single, Wasting Time. People can listen to it or buy the MP3 for 69 cents. That just is so old school, isn't it? Buying digital music on Amazon for 69 cents as an MP3 file, it's a bit strange. But anyway, that's a cool place to come in and check that out. While we're here, the other cool thing we have here is hyperfollow. So we can check out my hyperfollow page for this. If we click on the visit button here, this will take us to this little window here. So this is our hyperfollow where you can see we've got our album artwork and the song name. We've got Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Tidal, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Napster, all the places. But here's the cool thing. If we didn't want it to have all those places, we can actually customize these. And I've got a complete video showing how to customize your hyperfollow. And little hint, there might be some more talk of hyperfollow in a future video here in November. But we can edit the page, we can hide the page, we can share it to all the different places, we can view all of my other hyperfollow pages, and there's a bunch of things. Here in the edit options, there's a bunch of things we can edit. You can change your name and your title if you want. The song release date there, you can embed a YouTube clip there as well. So if you've got a YouTube video, you can embed that. You've got your pre-save, your audio previews, and then all of these links. So we can reorder these. So we want to make sure Spotify and Apple Music are up the top. We can do that. So we don't really want this Napster link. Let's just get rid of some of these to clean it up. So I don't really want any of these other ones. Google Play kind of doesn't exist anymore. Let's just go with that. Let's say we want those 5 links. We can add my social media links in if I want to. Let's hit save changes on this one though. And now look at this, a nice clean page with just those 5 links there. So there you go. There's a twofer. You can add to more stores and you can set up your hyperfollow page for your existing releases if you're using DistroKid. So I hope you found that useful if you are doing your thing. Let's come back here and see who is here live and saying g'day and seeing if we have anyone who is, J-Star says so many live streams today. I know it is. It's Monday morning for me, which is my busy time because it's Sunday afternoon and evening for folks in the US and Canada. Gary Hubbs, yeah, you missed the premiere. Russ says, don't have time to do any music. I hear you. I was there. I've carved out the time, thankfully, but yeah. So Stu says, yep, released an album on DistroKid 3 weeks ago. Absolutely. Go check out Stu and Andy's album, The Indigo Sunsets. Tom Rochelle says, I use Bandcamp for the time being. That's totally cool. Absolutely. Bandcamp is a good option. Andy says, yep, what Stu said. Jade says, I used to use CD Baby. Best move I ever made to DistroKid. And yeah, look, DistroKid aren't sponsoring this video, but they are sponsoring videos this month on the channel. But as I've said countless times, I've been using DistroKid for all the time I've been releasing music. That's been over 4 years. And as you can see by my my list of songs on DistroKid that I've released, I've been releasing a lot of music. And that's probably the best part. I kind of buried the lead, but the best part about DistroKid is that you can release an unlimited number of songs and EPs and albums, and you can have multiple projects in the release schedule at the same time. So for $19.99 per year, you can actually upload an unlimited number of songs and EPs and albums and get them pushed out to all of the different places online, and it's very, very cool. Cody Bradley says, no, I'm just releasing to YouTube right now. I use GarageBand and iMovie iOS, and that's totally cool. Again, don't let me say that you can't just do your releases on SoundCloud or slaps.com, which is owned by DistroKid, or even YouTube. There's a bunch of different ways. As long as you're sharing your music, I'm kind of happy with you there. As Jade says here, there is a link down in the description. You can use the VIP link with DistroKid to get 7% off your first year. Deep Gravity says, I use a Muse because it's free. My Scottish blood like that. I have a subscription to DistroKid now, but failed to release this year so far. Yeah, absolutely. If you're looking for a free option and you're just starting out, you can try Amuse, amuse.io. They are a free music distributor. The downsides there are they take a lot longer. So it's around about 30 days to get your music out. DistroKid's usually within 2 to 3 days, up to about a week if it's your first release. But yeah, and there's other limitations as well. DistroKid have a bunch of different options that some of which we'll be covering in this video as well. Who else have we got here? I'll just see. Yeah, so Gary Hubbs has released 3 singles with DistroKid over the past 8 weeks. You've been busy. Love it. Very, very nicely done. Darren Daniluk, who does some amazing metal and some nice deep dark tunes, released 3 albums and 1 single since March. I want to do more. That's an epic effort, Darren. And now you want to do more. Love it. Love it a lot. And says that it's definitely not perfect. Well, you know what? Perfect is completely false. It's falsified. It's an impossible thing. Here we go. So deep gravity. This is an interesting point. We'll talk about this. It says, funnily enough, I got a copyright strike against myself from Amuse for uploading my own song to YouTube. I contested it and told Amuse to grow a brain. So keep that in mind. There is something we'll show you in a minute when I just take you through the upload, but keep in mind that if you use something called YouTube Money or YouTube Content ID, that will do that. So if you release your music through any distributors, through TuneCore, CD Baby, Amuse, DistroKid, Ditto, there's a bunch, United Masters, there's a bunch of them out there now. If you select the YouTube option, not the YouTube music option, that's all cool. But if you select the YouTube Content ID option, which Amuse used to have baked into their free version, it'll do that. I had the same problem with my song Goats. I released it through Amuse just to test it out under my band name Fearcut. And now whenever I play the song Goats on my own channel here on YouTube, I get a copyright claim from myself. Kind of weird, right? Cody says, I've been busy with school, haven't had much time for music. I hear you. Hopefully you'll find some time for music in the future. Let's come on down here. We'll see if we have anyone else that's shared theirs. SM Borthwick's talking about following other people. Cool. So I think we've covered everyone here. And a question here, a good question, which is from Russ. Do most people make money back that the cost? Do you get an idea of who buys your music? Yeah, so there's obviously it depends. So it varies greatly. The actual amount you get per stream is pretty low. Your stream numbers have to be in the hundreds, the thousands, the tens of thousands before you start actually seeing significant amount of revenue. That being said, if someone's going to get paid royalties for your music, it might as well be you. That's always been my view on this. So, yeah, do you make the $20 a year back? It'd be an interesting question. I might actually put that as a poll question. I think that'll be a great question to put out to the general audience here on Studio Live today, because I know we've got hundreds of folks who use DistroKid on a regular basis, and it would be really interesting to see, are you paying your own? I am, and I know a lot of others who are, but yeah, it's not game-changing money, because the likes of Spotify and Apple Music, and because most people stream music as opposed to buying it these days, the way it works is for streams, you might get, half a cent or a cent or 2 cents for a stream. You can see that you quickly need to get a lot of streams to actually get a significant amount of money. If someone buys, so say you have an album for $9.99, if someone buys that, you get 70%, so you'll get $7 in your account, and then the platform gets $3. It's usually the way it works. 70-30 splits are usually the way it works for purchases. So, it will do. And as Darren said, it depends on the platform that they use and where they buy their music. Tom says, I lose money making music. I know every person who's bought my music since it's been like 3 people. Yeah, and I'm the same. Don't think that I share a lot of my ideas here on YouTube, but the actual music side of it, there's not many people actually buying music, even digital music these days. There's not many people there. Question from Stu Cash is, how do you find out revenue you make from Apple iTunes? So here's the thing. There's two levels, I guess, for musician accounts in DistroKid. And this is one of the questions that I was going to cover in this anyway, so we'll jump over to it now. There's the musician plan and the musician plus plan. I've actually done a complete video about the difference between musician and musician plus, and I'll be refreshing that video this month, so you can watch out for that. But the short version of that is that you get additional stats with the musician plus account. I'll just jump over here, and I've got to be careful what I am and am not allowed to show, but you've got your Spotify for artist stats that you have over here, and you've also got the ability to change it for other platforms, for iTunes and Amazon. Let's see, I think the stats are okay. Yeah, I'll be able to show the stats here because they don't show any monetary values. So if we come over here, here is my DistroKid, and I'm in this stats section. So you'll have the bank, you have the regular bank section, which you can still see it. So, Stu, to answer your question, you can still see from a dollar sense, you can see all the revenue that's come in. And I show that in another video. If you go into your bank section, it takes 3 months. So you're probably waiting on your first release because it takes 3 months to actually show up. But once you hit that 3-month mark, it will jump in here and you'll see that. So I think the latest, I'll just have to unshow it here. Sorry, because not that I care, but there's limitations around what I am and aren't allowed to show in terms of revenue on YouTube. And I like to play by the rules. I don't want to get shut down because I showed something. So if I go here to my, I know you can't see this, but if I go to my excruciating detail, what you basically do, you go into your bank and then you hit the button that says see excruciating detail, and it will go in and it will show you. So at the moment, my earnings here, it says up to September 2020. In fact, it's only up to August. So it's up to the end of, oh no, it's just reported out September. So I'll show you this because this will be, this will show you what it looks like, because I can just show you a little tip here. Oh, I know. So this is the excruciating detail that you can get here, Stu. So you can come in and if we scroll across, you can see that there is the month that these are reported in. So it's reported in October for September. So we're not that far behind. They're actually less than 3 months at the moment. If you come across here, you can see a couple of things. You can see how many streams you got. So my song Never to Blame, if we look at this line, 18 streams in the US, and I got paid a whopping 10 cents for those 18 streams. If we look at these ones, you can see there's some GB down here. So these are Great British, these are from Great Britain. It's all in US dollars though, so it'll convert it for you. So you can see here, my song For the Birds got played twice on this platform in the Great Britain area, and I got 0.029 cents for that one. And and I don't think so it doesn't appear that it actually splits it out by, oh yeah, it does, Apple Music. So these are all Apple Music. So if you scroll up and down, you've got Apple Music there. Here's our Spotify. So for Spotify, things have changed. So my new song on Spotify in Australia, a lot of people watched it or streamed it. 12 people, in fact, streamed it, and I got paid 2.1 cents for 12 streams. So you can see here that, yeah, it takes a lot to start getting a significant amount. But that's why, to be honest, that's why I think it's important to release your music and to get it out there and to create, record, and release music, because you don't know. Similar to me putting out videos here, I don't really know which videos are going to be popular and successful and which ones aren't, but I just keep doing them every day, and eventually I'll find what works for me and what works for people. So it's the same with your music. I've been surprised. Some of the songs that I thought were are the ones that people listen to the most. And I was playing a game with my wife yesterday where we would bring up on Spotify or Apple Music, and if you know those, you can go in there and see the 3 most popular songs. It'll pop up and say these are the most listened to songs by artist. And I looked at mine and I'm like, oh, I wonder what my most listened to song. And it's Anxiety. It's a song that I recorded on 4 tracks and released about 3 years ago, in fact. And that's still the most listened to song right now of all the songs that I've released. And again, that's not one that I really had any expectations around. So it's interesting to see how it all comes together. Yes, and by the way, so as Jade has said here, I've just done this. So one of the things I need to get better at with my music is the promotion and how I actually set up my different accounts, because there's a couple of things. For Spotify, there is Spotify for Artists. Do I have that up here? I think I was looking at that before. So let me show you my Spotify for Artists account. So you can basically claim your Spotify for Artists and your Apple Music, which is what Jade has actually put here. So if you go to artist.apple.com, you can actually do that. You can also do it. So I just did it in the music app. So you can see here, it's still showing me thanks for submitting your request, because I legitimately just put that through before I started the stream, because I'm like, I got to get better with this stuff. So that way you can actually get better control over, and then you can see the stats at that end. Rather than looking at your distributor numbers, which are always delayed and a bit harder to look at, you can look at it at that end. So sign up for that, do the Apple thing, and then do the Spotify for Artists thing as well. Gary Hubbs has earned 72 cents, which is you know what, exactly right. You can grab a couple of picks for 72 cents for sure. So the one that Jade did that's for Apple, and there is definitely the Spotify one as well. And the Spotify app for artists is that one as well. So there's an app for it. You can also go to the website, which I will show you now. And Gary, got to go to the beach. Absolutely, hit the beach. Actually, it's a great beach weather here today. It's 29 degrees Celsius here. What's that? About 85, 90 in the Fahrenheit. It's a beautiful day. Don't worry, I'm going to get out of here straight after this stream. I'm going to go for a walk, soak up the sunshine, get my SPF 30 plus on, of course, because it's the Australian sun doesn't mess around, and I look after myself when it comes to that. So let's jump over and take a look at my Spotify for artists. So this is something that you do get access to if you release music, and this is kind of cool. You can see no one's listening right now. No one's listening to any of my music on Spotify, but that will update real time if they are. You can add an artist pick to guide listeners. I can create an artist playlist to engage my listeners. These are all things I haven't done and clearly need to do. But you can see your stats here. So the number of listeners in the last 7 days, 36, 91 streams, 226 people follow me. And my current top songs is New Beginning, Imagination, and Addicted to Bass. So yeah, interesting to see that. Obviously, New Beginning's my newest song, so more people are listening to that. And I'm in some weird and random playlists here, swing, jazz, and big band covers of pop songs. So that must be my Addicted to Bass song that got put in there. And who created this? Did I do this or did someone else? The Create, Record, Release 2020 playlist. I don't remember making that. Maybe someone else did and they put my song in it. But yeah, there you go. So that's very cool. If you made that, put your hand up. Let me know if you're here in the chat or if you're watching on the replay. But yeah, you can look at your home. You've got music, audience, profile. So let's just go to my music. I'll just make sure that there's nothing there that you can't see. Okay, yeah, so this just goes by track that you can take a look at like this. You can see track by track. You can see when it was first added. So I've got stuff back in 2017 when I first released music, 2018, 2020, and you get your basic stats on there in Spotify. And I'll just check the audience one, make sure that there's nothing here I can't show. Oh, I got a funky graph. So yeah, you get to take a look at your listeners there. So interestingly, on Monday, October 19th, and again on Monday. So Monday's my good listening day. So this is good data. Again, I know mine's super low because I'm not good at promoting my own music, but this would tell me that on Mondays, that's when my listeners sort of come in. So I should focus. If I was releasing a song, I'd want to release it about now, yeah? Because I want to make sure that it has the best possible penetration. Yes, I said penetration. Let's continue on here. Yeah, these apps just show stats. Exactly. They show the stats. The Spotify for artists, though, as you saw, is pretty cool because you can change your profile picture and you can change things like the featured track and the featured playlist when people go to your Spotify profile, which is pretty cool. I like it. Let's see. I think I saw a few other questions that we had here. Andy and Stu are having a chat about their thing. Deep Gravity says update. It's now 64 cents. Time to celebrate. Yeah, we're talking small numbers here. You do definitely have to get yourself some things done. And there you go. 84 degrees Fahrenheit is 29. So it's a warm day out here. How much for a feature? I want you on a track. I haven't. I bite off more than I can chew, and I've said yes to too many things. So right now, it's priceless because I don't have the capacity to do any other additional projects, unfortunately. But yeah, hit me up maybe in about a month's time after November. Once I've done this music releasing month, then or maybe around December, January, I'll have a little bit more time, hopefully. Fallen, hello to you. Good to have you here. Cousin Frank says, do you release your stuff on other sites like Bandcamp, for example, in tandem with DistroKid? An interesting question. I don't. I haven't traditionally. What I tend to do, because YouTube is my number one platform, I tend to use YouTube to release a lot of music. So whenever I've got a new song, I'll create a video or I'll have a lyric video or something like that. I'll plonk that onto YouTube. I also use Facebook quite a lot. So because I've got more people listen to my music on Facebook than they do on Spotify and Apple Music combined. So really, if I was a smart business person trying to sell and trying to promote my music, I wouldn't put as much on YouTube and Facebook for free. I would just put little snippets and previews there. And then I would say if you want to actually listen to it, you got to go to your Spotify or your iTunes, or like you say, sell it on Bandcamp, because there's a few places. And Jade Star, if you're watching and listening, put a link to the videos you did recently. Jade recently reviewed things like Reverb Nation and Bandcamp and some of the other independent ways to sell your music, and they can be a good option as well. I know that I've bought some songs and some albums from many folks. Thomas Christ, his album, Glenn Clark, I think, was selling on Bandcamp. Could be making that up. But yeah, there's plenty of options there that you can do. So I don't, but others do. And you are right, QB, graphs are cool. I'm drinking out of a water bottle now because if you saw the stream on the weekend, I spilled half a glass of water. So sippy cups will be next. We're in water bottles now. Next will be sippy cups. Alrighty, let's continue on. You can change your app. There you go. You can change your profile picture on the Apple app also. So I need to do that. Maybe that would be a good topic. Maybe we'll do that for one of the live streams next weekend. We'll do a Spotify and Apple profile tips video. That could be something that would be pretty cool. James Smith, what's the best distribution service? Well, I'm a little biased because I've been using DistroKid for so long, but I'll let you know the reasons why I use DistroKid, because you might be thinking, Pete, you're not a big fan of subscription services in general, and I'm generally not. But here's the thing, with the amount of music that I produce and want to release and have out there, DistroKid just makes sense. So at the moment, I pay the Musician Plus account, which is $36.99 per year. I'm thinking off the top of my head. So you get some extra stuff with the Musician Plus. But if we're talking the Musician account, which is $19.99 per year, you get unlimited uploads of any songs, EPs, albums. You get access to Spotify for artists and Apple and all those things, all those cool things. You get the ability to see all of your bank information and to get paid 100% of your royalties. Now, keep in mind, when I say 100% of royalties, like all other US companies, DistroKid need to abide by United States tax laws, which includes something called withholding tax. If you're outside of the US, up to 30%, now don't freak out because it's going to be okay, up to 30% of your income may be withheld as part of withholding tax. The reason for that is that the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, which is a weird name for a tax department, the Internal Revenue Service need to do that. The good thing is, countries that have treaties like Australia, like Great Britain, like many European countries, mean that you'll only have about 5 to 10% withheld with DistroKid and with anyone else. So this is something that anyone that does business and does foreign business outside of the US needs to be aware of, because it's just a US thing that has to happen with US companies. But that all being said, the other reasons that I like DistroKid is that they're fast, they are fun, they just introduced some cool new tools, which I'll show you in a moment, and we'll be looking at over the month, and they just work. It's just a simple process. You put your stuff out there. If you follow the guidelines, you hit submit, it gives you some emails, and then a couple of days later, like magic, your music is available in the stores. And if something goes wrong, their support is pretty darn good. In my experience, everyone will have different experiences, and your mileage may indeed vary, but for me, it's been seamless. Every time I release something, it's seamless. That all being said, what I am going to do as one of the videos is to do a video which is a checklist for what you need to do before you release. Your artist name, your album artwork, making sure it's complying with what you need to do. Your file, making sure it's a WAV file, 24-bit, you get the best quality from that. So there's a few things you need to make sure you do. The spelling and the layout of your title of your song. Simple things like that if you get it right, you're golden. But the number of emails I get from people that are like, oh no, I got this thing and DistroKid said I didn't put the title right. I'm like, did you read that bit where you put the title, where it said how to do it? And they're like, maybe. So yeah, that sort of thing. What else have we got? Question from Stu Cash. How about we write a Christmas song in December, similar to Songtember? I thought about exactly that, Stu. I thought that there's not enough rockin' Christmas songs around. And it could be fun in 2020, the year it's been, to do some sort of Christmas challenge. So I like that. And QB said a 200 BPM Christmas song is coming. Excellent. I like it a lot. Let's have a look. So Jade Star says, yes, I have my music on all the digital platforms, including Bandcamp. They add my merch links to the song link and also any video clip like this. And you can check that one out if you're watching live or just search out Jade Star. I'm sure it's all on your website, Jade, and check that one out. And this is Jade's playlist. for all the alternative distribution services. And we've got folks getting excited here in the chat about the Christmas idea. All right, we are at about the 30-minute mark, and we've had a few questions, which has been great because that's what we wanted it to be all about here. But I'm going to jump over now and do some quick fire answers here to some of the most common questions that I get about releasing music using DistroKid or pretty much any other platform. So let's jump through these. Number one, do I need to set up accounts with Spotify and Apple Music? No, you do not. So you do not need to be a Spotify member, an Apple Music member, a Google Play, a YouTube. You don't need any of that. DistroKid, send it to those platforms. They create your artist name. The one thing I will say is use a unique artist name. If you are John Smith, be Johnny Q Rainbow Smith. I've said that so many times, there probably is a Johnny Q Rainbow Smith, but please don't use a generic name as your artist name, or you will get lost in the ether. Your songs will be attributed to another artist. Their songs will go to you. Be unique. Be like the Indigo Sunsets and be unique. Search around first and make sure you have a unique name. I can't stress that enough because you're going to curse if you get caught in that situation where someone else is using yours. Another thing I get, what happens if you close your DistroKid account? What's going to happen to your music? Well, yeah, it will be removed from platforms. So that is one thing to keep in mind. It is a subscription service and you do need to stay subscribed. There's nothing stopping you, however, coming back and restarting your subscription and re-uploading your music or choosing to go somewhere else. You can move your music around quite easily. You can pull it down quite easily by just removing it from stores. I've showed how to do that in previous videos. You can re-upload your music, but be super careful with that. Go and check out my videos about how to re-release or how to edit a release, because there's some things you can't do. The one thing that stores are cracking down on big time is re-releasing the exact same song. Because what folks were doing is that they would release a song, they would submit it to a bunch of playlists, they'd try to build some hype, it would fall flat on its face and they'd go, I'm going to try that again. So they'd pull it down and they'd go to re-release the same song. Spotify in particular got absolutely jack of this because the same artists were releasing the same song every month, hoping that they get a big hit and they become the next Old Town Road. Don't do it. You will get punished and eventually your music will never be able to be released again, and you'll be very sad and you'll be in my inbox saying, Pete, they won't let me re-release my song, and I'll say, I told you so. Anyway, so what's the difference between the Musician and the Musician Plus? Well, the key things that you can do, the Musician account doesn't let you, or let's just flip it around. The Musician Plus account lets you change the amount you charge. So you can charge $69.99 or $1.29, or albums, I think it's $6.99, $9.99, $12.99 US. You can set a release date. You can do pre-releases. So if people want to buy it before the time or pre-save it, you can do that. You can name your label. So if you don't use the Musician Plus account, it'll just be your label name will just be DK and a number. If you want to be Studio Live Today Records, which is what I've done, you use the Musician Plus account, you can do your label name. And there's a few other little tweaks, and we'll have a full video about all the differences between the Musician and the Musician Plus account coming up in this month as well. Can you make changes once a song or album is released? Yes, but try not to. If you've just got a glitch with your audio file, I know that Stu and Andy had this with their Indigo Sunsets release. I had it with my song Hold On last year. You can remove the song, fix the audio. Make sure you grab the ISRC code. If you've got a Musician Plus account, that will link it back with the original song and then re-upload it. So that's how you can actually get yourself covered there. But if you're just not happy with it and you want to bring it down and put it back up again, be really careful, because again, they can ping you and say, nah, we've had this song before. Don't do it. So only if you need to make a change, make a change. Can you re-release a song that's already been released? No. However, what you can do is if a song's been released as a single, you can release the exact same song on an album and vice versa. So if you wanted to be smart about this stuff, and this is what I say to people, if you want to re-release the same song, guess what? You could have a remastered version of it that's slightly different. You could release it as a 2-track EP with it and another song. That's going to be different. You can put it on an album with 10 tracks. That's going to be different. The only thing you can't do is have a single or an EP or an album and then release the exact same songs in the exact same order again. I suppose technically you could even just have the album as like the mixed up version where you just change the order of the tracks. Maybe don't do that. That sounds weird. How do I manage collaborations? Super simple. You use Teams. And since DistroKid set up Teams, it's just made life so much easier. You don't have to track revenue. Like you saw that bank screen, yeah? Imagine trying to track all the different royalties by song, by release, and then trying to split it like between 4 band members. Nah. Use Teams on DistroKid. Get it done. Can I release a cover song? Yes. And I'm glad you asked because guess what? Jade Starr is doing that this week on her channel. She's releasing a cover song of the Ben Folds 5 song Smoke that her and I have been working on and collaborating on for, a couple of years now, Jade? Feels like it, over a year. So yeah, go and check that out on her channel. It does cost you. It's an extra $12 per year, but here's the beauty part. You don't have to go and seek out the mechanical license yourself. You just pay DistroKid $1 a month and they handle all the stuff. And if you've ever tried to obtain mechanical licenses, which basically means the permission to actually release a cover song, then you know that you don't want to have to deal with that. You want someone else to do it for you. DistroKid will do it for you for $12 a year. It's a good deal, trust me. How do I get paid? You put your PayPal in. There are other methods. If you're outside of the US, I recommend PayPal because it's just the easiest and most convenient. You can use other methods like direct deposit or check if you're in the US. Why are there still checks around? It seems to be a US thing. People in the US, can you tell me? Why are you still using checks? I haven't seen a check in about 10 years. Anyway, but yes, you can do that. The other things to remember about being paid is because of those tax laws I mentioned earlier, you do need to provide a tax identification number to DistroKid. This is because royalties are treated as income. Yes, that's right. As soon as you sell a song, as soon as you get paid for streaming a song, you are, by definition, a professional musician, and therefore you are earning income. Now, how that income is assessed and taxed is completely dependent upon a whole bunch of factors, and I'm not an accountant or a tax professional, so I'm not giving any advice, except to say, don't just ignore it and assume that you don't have to pay any tax on any money you make from releasing music. It is revenue. It would be considered income in a lot of countries, in a lot of situations, and it does depend on any other income you make through other jobs, and therefore how much tax you will be assessed on that. But you do need to enter your tax details because of those withholding tax reasons before, and because, again, they're paying you money for something, for a product, for a service that you're putting out there. So keep that in mind. How long does it take to release? How long is a piece of string? So it can take anywhere from, some releases I've got out in about 8 hours. Don't think it's going to do that very often, but some of my releases have been super quick. Usually it's between 3 and 7 working days between when it gets there, it hits the stores process it, they get it online, and folks can go and stream it. So it can vary, especially your first release, especially if there's any issues. This is why I say, get your album artwork spot on, your title, your artist name, your audio file. You don't want any issue. You don't want them to have to come back and say, we would have got this out, except Spotify don't like your album art or Apple don't like your file format. Keep that in mind. Sorry, I need a quick drink because I'm getting a little croaky. So please, get it right. It's like audio. It's like recording your songs. Get it right at the source. It's so much easier to get it right up front than to have to fix it later. So please spend some time, make sure it's good. But then once you've released your first song particularly, or your first release, your first album, then subsequent songs are a lot quicker and easier. Excuse me a moment. Sorry, I had a cough. I can feel that building. Didn't want to do it in your ears. How do I share my music releases? You saw the hyper follow link there. That was pretty cool. We talked a little bit about how to use Spotify for artists. Your Apple artist account, you can tweak and change that. And then, of course, you can share it email, messenger, social media. Just don't be a spammer. Don't join every music group and just drop your link and say, yo, check out my fire new track, yo, fire, 100, and then just walk away because no one's going to click it. And those that do, are not going to think that. Anyway. I won't rant on that. You know what I'm saying. You've heard me say it before. And if you haven't, I'm happy to rant about it. Just check out any of my other rant videos. Can you release, this is an important one. Can you release using an iPhone or iPad? No, not really. Not in my experience. I know some folks have had success. If you are going to try it, make sure you're using a browser in desktop mode. It definitely doesn't work on a mobile browser. And yes, this is a problem. And yes, this is something that I have spoken to DistroKid about. My contact over at DistroKid is probably sick of me asking about it because every time I talk to them, I say, hey, when's the app coming? When's the mobile app coming? When's you going to support mobile browser? I got thousands of people producing music on their mobile device, and then when they go to release it, they have to like jump through hoops to do it on their Mac or PC. So, yeah, if you come here and you go to the upload, so let's just do a quick mock upload. Then yeah, make sure you are in a browser that is going to support the desktop mode. The bit that trips it up is the uploading of the file. So you can add your album artwork there, but the uploading of the actual track, the choosing file bit here, what it'll do, it'll look like it's there, but when you get to the bottom and you hit the upload button, it'll say something like error with the file. File was 0 kilobits or something like that, and it won't work. So yeah, trust me with that. That yeah, if you can use a Mac or a PC, then use a Mac or a PC. Hopefully that will work for you. What was the other ones we had here? Oh yeah, yeah. Let's just have a quick. There's something really cool. I was going to show you more of the features of DistroKid, but I'll just show you a couple because there's some hidden gems in here that are a lot of fun that I've played around with before, and I haven't shown a lot of these here on the channel. So if we come back over to here, under your more section, you got a bunch of stuff. Slaps.com, I've got whole videos on this. It's a social media network all about music. It's very cool. I recommend you join it. Hyperfollow, we've taken a look at already. That's how you can get a free landing page that you can link to, and that will help people find your music. Lyrics is really important. I haven't done it on my songs. I need to do more lyrics, and you can even with the Musician Plus account, you can do synced lyrics, which is pretty cool, pretty next level. There's a meme video generator where you can free short videos you can share anyway. That's kind of fun. I'll let you explore that yourself. Visi Video Generator. Now, this is similar to Visibel. Sounds very similar, which is an app that I use to create visualizations. This is a paid service. I've never actually tried it. Maybe I need to check it out, but it looks pretty cool. It's mostly for like vertical video, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but if you're big into your Instagram and your TikTok and your Twitters and things, you might want to use that to create that. You've got your credits and liner notes that you can use there. You can adjust your personal profile. The Wheel of Playlist is fun. We'll finish the stream by doing a spin of the Wheel of Playlist because I think that'll be fun. You've got the Vault, which is great. So it's an unlimited backup of all your music files. So the full resolution WAV file that you upload and release, DistroKid store a copy. So that's brilliant. Like if you ever wanted to leave DistroKid for whatever reason, you can come into your vault, you can download all of your masters and then walk away and you've got them there. Or if you're like me and you have really bad file management, you can actually jump into DistroKid and grab copies of your WAV file. So lately I've been sharing stuff to Slaps and I had to go into my vault to find the master of the song so I can then go and release it on Slaps. Dave will have a look at in a moment because it's kind of fun. Distro lock, so you can actually lock it from unauthorized release, protect your music if you think other people are going to try and release the same song as you, if you had a bad falling out with a collaborator or a band member. The referral program. So here's the cool thing. Once you join DistroKid, you can also refer others and get them 7% off their first year and you can earn yourself some commission. So the link down below is an affiliate link. It's a referral link, which means if you sign up to DistroKid, they take 7% off your first year and they give me a few dollars for sending you over there. You can then do the same. It's very cool. Fixer, that is really handy. If you do have that problem, if you didn't take my advice and you have the same artist name as someone else, you can use that to actually get yourself fixed up. We've got some streaming service goodies, so that's you can jump in for your Spotify verification, your Apple Music for Artists. I need to explore that myself, your account settings, and your frequently asked questions. And again, I've buried the lead here, but I've actually got a web page. I'll bring it up here. So I've got the frequently asked questions for DistroKid over at not DistroKid, my website, studiolivetoday.com/DistroKid. Very easy to remember. If you go to that website, you will be greeted with this one, my DistroKid FAQ. So I've got a video there, similar to this one. I'm already a member of the email list, where you can watch the video about the 10 most asked questions. And then you've got the link there to get 7% off with the link. DistroKid's own support center is actually really cool. You can jump in there, you can contact DistroKid, and then I've got the answers to the top 10 questions there. And right down the bottom here is, yes, if you want to contact them directly and you've checked everything in the FAQ, that's how you can link in and do that. So there's a handy little link if you want to find out what you can and can't do and all of the most common questions. So if you look there around the album art, you know, it says it's got to be at least 1,000 by 1,000. You want to make it 3,000 by 3,000 in my view. All of the audio format stuff you need. So go through this. If you're going to release music, spend 10 minutes. You'll thank me when it works as opposed to not working once it's released. Let's finish up here and find something else. So I'll just see if we've got any other questions that have come in here. Remember, if you do have a question, put question in front of it. Cody says, what are your suggestions on promoting your music? So I'm the worst person to ask because my focus on my channel here has been create, record, release. It's never had promote at the end. So maybe from the fact that I get asked this question a lot, I should probably delve into it a bit more. There are a lot of good channels out there that talk about music promotion. Damien Keys, look up Damien Keys on YouTube. He talks a lot about promoting on Spotify, promoting your music, promoting on social media. There's a lot of fake gurus about promoting your music. So if you get approached by someone that wants you to pay them to get you on playlists or pay them to get you promoted or in front of executives or whatever, tread very carefully with that sort of thing. But generally, what I like to suggest is go out there and just learn. And the thing is, the good and bad thing is it's changing all the time. So how you promote your music this year may be different from last year, and it will probably be different again next year. So the best thing to do is to just keep up to date, listen to people that are trusted, that have good reputations in the industry, and do the best you can. But yeah, maybe I do need to do that for the future. And Jade's talking about things like CD Baby and others like CD Baby and TuneCore. One moment. The difference is that they tend to use one-off payments to release, or as Jade's saying here, a renewal by album or by single. So the reason, again, I love DistroKid is one flat rate, can release as much as you want. You never have to give it a second thought about how much you're going to have to pay. And you never hesitate to release music. So you know that my mantra here is create, record, release. If I wasn't using DistroKid, there'd be some things, like I put out a compilation EP of some old songs that I just wanted to put out there because I thought they were cool. I wouldn't do that if I had to pay $25, $30, $50 to release that EP. But because I know I have my DistroKid account anyway, it's not free, I know that, but it's virtually, in my head, it's free because I'm already paying to have the account to have my other albums and EPs. I might as well push out this new EP. So that's the way I look at it. Deep Gravity says DistroKid are working on an app. They are indeed. And I did have hopes. I was chatting and said, will it be ready by November? I'd love to premiere it in November. And they said, yeah, probably not. So hopefully it will be done soon and we will have mobile DistroKid love in our world, which will be good. CD and James Smith, CD Baby is a one-time payment. Yeah, so yeah, the CD Baby and I think TuneCore is a one-off payment, so you pay it once and then that's what you do. And maybe TuneCore is different. Final question here from Russ, which is, how about if you have spoken word samples? Good question. Samples and using other people's samples. So if I go over here to my own FAQ, I think I cover this here. I think it's oh no, maybe I didn't. Maybe it wasn't in the top 10. I've definitely talked about it in a video. Oh, there it is. Can I use samples? So what I said in my FAQ was the short answer is no, unless you have permission or a specific license to do so. Loops and samples that are free for commercial use, like those inside GarageBand, are generally fine to use. And DistroKid actually have sample information on their FAQ. So if we come over here, and this is why I like DistroKid. They're kind of funny. It's like, my music contains sampling from other songs. Is that okay? DistroKid can help with covers. DistroKid cannot help with samples. So sampling is, the using of other things. So it's talking about how that all works. So the short answer is no. It's a slippery slope when you start going in and start using samples. I wouldn't recommend it. You can usually get away with it, but as soon as someone finds out you've used their sample, unless you actually have permission and you're actually paying them a licensing fee to use their samples, I wouldn't do it because it won't always cause problems, but it can cause problems. So yeah, for all you lo-fi producers that are putting, that quote from The Godfather at the start of your lo-fi song, if you're releasing it publicly using DistroKid, I know it makes it sound a bit cooler. I would probably leave it out. That's just for me. All right. Let's show a couple of these features because I wanted to have some fun at the end of this stream. And thank you for those that have been hanging around and watching what's been going on. So we're first of all going to jump into Dave because Dave is cool. Dave is the musical analysis AI bot that tells you about your track. I don't really know what the use of this is, but it's fun. So let's do it. And you can do it on your own releases. So here we go. Here's Dave, DistroKid's musical analysis AI bot. Let's find a track. So why don't we find my new song called New Beginning. There it is. That's my latest tune from September this year. We'll click next. Let Dave do his thinking. What do you reckon, Dave? There you go. So I'll copy this so that you can go over to the page and take a look too. So I'll paste this in the chat here for those that are here live, or you can type it out, I guess, if you're watching on the replay. So, hi, I'm Dave, DistroKid's AI bot. Let me tell you about New Beginning by Pete Johns. New Beginning is 4 minutes and 14 seconds long. It is in the key of D major. It is. And the time signature is 4 beats per minute. Loudness is minus 11.05 dB, and the tempo is around 142 BPM. Now, this is interesting because New Beginning has 2 tempos, so it's going to be a bit weird for this one. Acousticness. This track is an acoustic, which I like. It's got no acoustic guitar in sight. It is all electric, powered goodness. Danceability. It's good for dancing, probably good for head moshing. Instrumentalness, 0%. Likely isn't an instrumental. No, there's lyrics up the wazoo. Energy, this track is energetic. Yeah. Speechiness, probably doesn't contain talking. It doesn't. Liveness, this track was recorded in a studio, not live. It was. Well, it was recorded in an iPhone and an iPad and at Jade's iPad as well. Variance, vibe is sad, depressed. Valence. Vibe is sad, depressed, and or angry. And you can listen to New Beginning on Spotify. I think this is a pretty fun. I think this is a pretty fun little tool. So if we do another song, let's do a more low-key song. So I talked about my song Anxiety before. So why don't we we'll get Dave to have a listen. What do you reckon, Dave? What's Anxiety all about? There you go. We'll try this one. 4 minutes and 19 in the key of D major. I like me some D major, don't I? 4 beats, speed's 113.85, loudness minus 10. So track is acoustic. So this time it's correctly decided that, yes, it's using acoustic. Don't know if it's that good for dancing, Dave, just quietly. Don't think I'd dance to this one. Not instrumental on the mellow side. So you can see here that the energy, it's worked out that it's more of a mellow track. Doesn't contain talking. Was recorded in a studio, definitely. Vibe is sad, depressed, or angry. So yeah, what if we try and find an upbeat song? So let's do one more here with Dave. Analyze another song. Again, I don't know the use of this, but it's fun. And I like fun. Fun is fun. Let's go with something like College. That's a upbeat punk song. Surely this has got to have some liveliness scores. All right, here we go. College is 2 minutes 24, G major. Loudness is minus 3.9, so it's much louder. It's a crushed mix, and I do remember that because I really crushed this master. 110 beats per minute. Acoustic, it isn't acoustic, sure isn't. Good for dancing, yeah, or bopping your head to. Not an instrumental. Look at that, 87% on energy. That's cool. I wonder what you have to do to get 100%. Probably doesn't contain talking. Track was recorded in a studio, and vibe is happy, cheerful, and or euphoric. Love it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a way that you can find out a little bit about your songs. And again, we can copy these and we can share them. So again, I'll share the track there, so you can take a look at that one there. Okay. And thank you, Deep Gravity. Make sure you give some thumbs on the video. Great information. And check out Jade Star. Absolutely. Yeah, between Jade and myself, you've had a bit of content today. We've been busy talking about all things music and releasing as well. Jade Star has got the good tips here. The Apple Music Style Guide is a good to bookmark and have a look at. Yeah, if you do want to know about that, do check out Apple Music and Spotify. They're the two that are going to get you into trouble the most. So they're the two that you have to know how to play ball with. Spotify will help you. Again, I showed it very briefly, but if you look on the upload page, not Spotify, DistroKid. DistroKid do try to help you here. I'll show you. So look at your artist band name here. When you've got your artist band name, it tells you all this stuff. Important. Don't list featured artists here. Check your capitalization. Don't use emojis. Yet I still get things from people saying, hey, my name's Smiley Face 100 lit symbol. I'm like, that's not going to work. They explicitly said, don't use emojis, don't use hashtags. Like, think about it. It's like, think if you were in a record store and then they're like, what's a record store, old man? And I say, shut up. But yeah, same sort of deal here with your album cover. It tells you, make sure it's optimal size, and it's got all of this here. Stores will reject artwork that contains a website, address, Twitter name, or any image that's pixelated, rotated, or poor quality. They'll also reject albums with prices or store logos. Don't put in iTunes or Spotify. A bit like videos. Don't put the Vivo logo on your video if you don't have a Vivo YouTube account, for goodness sake. Do not put that. You can put the parental advisory logo, but that's the only one you can use. Otherwise, you will get rejected. And no one wants to get rejected. We all want to do it. It's important. Sad, depressed, and angry seems a bit harsh. Yeah. Dave exploded. Your Dave explode. I know. All right, let's do one more thing. Let's do David's Shut Up Shop. There you go. Let's do one more. Let's do it. Yeah, Jade's going to put her music into Dave, and it will just say, "Oh, the pain." What's that thing? The robots that like, "No, why are you doing this to me?" Or, "I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Jade." Let's spin the wheel of playlist. The wheel of playlist. Now, apparently this may be being changed or going away soon, so get on it while you can because it's super fun. Let's go. Here it is, the wheel of playlist. What is the wheel of playlist? Well, DistroKid have a Spotify playlist, and what you can do is once every day, you can pick a song and you can spin the wheel. And whatever number you land on, that's the number your track in the playlist gets to be. So if I want, we'll focus in on New Beginning because it's my newest song. What we can do is we can connect with Spotify and spin the wheel of playlist. So let me just come off here for a second. I thought I was already connected. I should be. But I'll click the connect with Spotify button there. And it should bring it up here. Are we going to get a spin? It's got a little cog icon going at the moment. I just want to make sure it doesn't display. Here we go. I'm connected. Best of 3 spins. Come on, big money, no whammies. So we're going to hit the spin the wheel button. Actually, let's just zoom out a bit. There you go. I have it zoomed in when I'm doing these videos so you can see what's going on. So let's go back. There we go. Wheel of playlist. Hit it. You can see here. No 1,700. Where are we going to be? Oh, 977, 451, 20. All right, spin 1 was not a success. 2,432. Let's roll the dice again, shall we? And I want you to all be playing along at home. Get into your DistroKid and start spinning the wheel yourself. Let's spin again. Come on, big money or low money, low numbers. Let's see if we can get in the at least in the hundreds, not the thousands this time. A lot of songs in this playlist. Oh, congrats. Oh, you only get 2 spins. I thought you got 3. So if you want to go to that playlist, once you've listened to 1,608 songs, you can listen to my song at 1,609. And I can play again tomorrow. So you get to spin this up every day. It gets kind of refreshed every day, but it's a lot of fun. SM Borthwick said I gave up on it. I got bumped after about 2 hours. Yeah, it was cool when it was an underground feature that no one knew about, and I've probably just ruined it more by sharing it here because now everyone can go and find it out. And do your spins. So let me know if you do have music released on DistroKid. Go and spin the wheel of playlist, and I want you to drop a comment. Once you've done that, come back to this video and drop a comment. We'll see who has the best success. Surely you can beat 1,609. That's a shocker. So yes, the highest I've ever been is about number 30 something. But again, as SM Borthwick says, as people spin, if they get the same number, it like knocks you off. So yeah, you don't last that long on there, but it's a bit of fun. And that's why I like DistroKid, because they have those. We didn't even look at the meme generator. I'll let you look at that yourself, but there's some fun stuff you can do with Marcel and the other things on the meme generator. Anyway, that is going to do it for this one. I hope you got some value out of this one. I hope you had some fun. Hope you learned a few things. And if you are releasing music, or if you're considering releasing your music online using DistroKid or any other platform, hopefully you're now more informed. You know what to expect. You know what you need to do to get it done. That is it for a big weekend of live shows here, but we are not done for the week, of course, because we'll be back with our daily videos. We've got a few tutorials, we've got some gear reviews coming up, and we've got, of course, our live stuff happening next weekend. Another big weekend of live here on Studio Live today. You got some value out of this one? Send some thumb love my way. You know you want to. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and head over to studiolivetoday.com for all the ways you can support me and interact with the channel, and that I can help you out, hopefully, with your own music and releasing. Thanks for being here, folks. As always, be kind to yourself, because if you're not kind to yourself, you can't be kind to others.